Okay, we're back with another discussion board. This week's chapter was a little bit harder for me. I had a hard time really understanding the materials, and then even for this discussion board, I had to sit there for a while and really try to understand what to do for my options. So I'm sorry if it's kind of all over the place. I have a lot of notes on my screen and a lot of thoughts in my head that I'm trying to combine in one and get this video posted. So anyways, I decided to do option 1, which was to pick an age and then go through all the major development theories that we learned about in this chapter. So I chose to do the age 15 because it sounds really interesting to kind of go through one specific age and look at all the different developments in that age. Sounded like it would be fun. And I also have a brother and sister that are 15, so I thought I could go kind of what they're experiencing at 15 developing, what I was experiencing at 15 developing. So a lot of 15-year-old developing happening in my siblings' lives and in my life. So the first development theory that I looked into in the book was psychosexual. Freud viewed development as discontinuous. He believed that each of us must pass through a series of stages during childhood, and that if we lack proper nutrients and parenting during a stage, we may become stuck or fixated in that stage. He had 5 stages that he said that we pass through and then we're done. So I thought that was really interesting and something that I didn't fully agree with. I feel like we have more than 5 stages of life and we're always learning and growing. Another thing is he also believed that personalities develop during early childhood, and childhood experiences shape our personalities and behaviors as adults. I do believe more in this. Experiences that we've had as a child can truly shape us to who we are as adults, good or bad. I've had a lot of experiences with friends and friendships that have shaped into adult life and what I'm doing now. I know at 15, in junior high, as weird as it seems, it's still affecting me now, 8 years later. So I do agree with that portion. I think it's really interesting that he plays such a big role in psychology, but his theory isn't used in modern research. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, we learn about it, but we don't use it. So it's kind of interesting. The next theory was Erikson's psychosocial development theory. It emphasizes the social nature of our development rather than its sexual nature. Erikson proposed that personality development takes place all through the lifespan. Erikson suggested that how we interact with others is what affects our sense of self, or what he called ego identity. I really agree with Erikson. I really like how he said lifespan. I think it's true that we are experiencing things now, and we're going to experience things when we're 80 that affect us and affect our life. It's really interesting what he said is how we interact with others is what affects our sense of self. And I find that to be really true. I've seen in my 15-year-old brother have a really hard time interacting with peers and just having a hard time connecting with people. And it's really played a part on how he looks at himself. He has a hard time being confident and positive. He's just kind of down and sad sometimes. On the other hand, my 15-year-old sister is the total opposite. She has a really good relationship with her peers, always wanting to go out and do things. It's sometimes annoying how social she is, but I can see that she's way more confident. She's positive. She wants to interact with people. And so I do really find that to be true. Another thing that I really liked that Erikson says in the textbook is there is a conflict or a task. At each stage, there is a conflict or task that we need to resolve. Successful completion of each development tasks results in a sense of competence and a healthy personality. Failure to master these tasks leads to feeling inadequate. So I thought that was interesting that we have a task. he says that we have a task and that we need to resolve, and that if we do resolve it, it's going to help us. So I really like that. If we have a problem and fix it, it's going to help us down the road somehow. We are learning something. We're growing. So he said that 15 is the adolescent stage. So ages 12 to 18, children face the task of identity versus role confusion. According to Erikson, an adolescent's main task is developing a sense of self. With questions as, who am I? What do I want in life? And I wish now at 23, I knew those questions still. But at 15, I remember being like so stressed and overwhelmed with those types of questions. Like, I don't know. So I feel like at 15, you truly are trying to figure that out. So overall, I really liked how Erikson explained the developmental process through life. I think he had some really good tips and pointers. Jean Piaget, I don't know if that's how you say it right, focused on children's cognitive growth. His theory of cognitive development holds that our cognitive abilities develop through specific stages, which exemplifies the discontinuity approach to development. As we progress to a new stage, there is a distinct shift of how we think and reason. So I do agree with that a little bit. I think at each age, we do think differently and reason differently. Like how we were reasoning at 15, deciding what to wear in the morning or who to hang out with, or for my brother that's 15, like what video game to play. Those types of things I think do change a little bit as you get older. You're still with similar things, but it's different. The last one was the moral. Moral with Kohlberg. He analyzed, I thought it was really cool how he did his research. So he analyzed people's answers and gathered evidence to create it. So I really like that he's using real life evidence. He also said that he sees females progress faster than males in some of the stages of life and get through more stages of life. He also had certain stages. I think he had 8 stages that you would go through. 6. Sorry, he had 6. And at one, he said that some males don't even get past stage 4. So it's interesting, but I don't think that you can box all males in that one thing and say, you're a male, you're not going to get past stage 4 in life. I think everyone can progress more and learn and grow and develop. So overall, I thought this assignment was really interesting. I really liked looking more into it, even though it took me a second to understand. I'm still trying to understand all of it. But my questions to you would be, which researcher do you, or which theory do you think is most correct? Psychosexual, psychosocial, cognitive, or moral? And what is something interesting that you learned from my video, if you could even understand it?